Here we go!
Hit that last no-scope kill and hit pause. It's time for the video game podcast where the Konami code is alive and well. The console wars don't exist. Rings are just as valuable as coins. Pots are not safe from swords. Giant robots kick ass. And fireballs are a perfectly acceptable weapon in a fist fight. That's right. It's time for the Super Gamer Bros podcast, Ultra Hyper Alpha Super EX Double Impact Plus in Live. Settle in and let's get to gaming.
Happy Thursday, everyone. This is Super Game Bros Live. We're here with you guys today. It's been a pretty big day and week so far, so we'll have lots to talk about tonight. I'm one of your gamers, Slayton, and I'm joined by...
Hello, this is Cynic.
I'm Pocky KLM.
I like how you guys took a minute there to be like, should we say who we are?
We're both trying to be polite. Like, no, you first. No, you first. No, you. No, you.
We're both too polite for our own good, but ultimately, I win the impolite fight.
You guys. So it was
the big sir.
Yes.
It was a really big week this week for
everybody.
Sony, apparently, a very big week for Sony. Big week for Destiny. Big week for all sorts of things. So we're going to be talking about all that today. On Super Game Bros, we are glad you guys are with us. As a note, next week we will not be doing this show. We are doing a Kaiju Lab special show about Black Lives Matter and social media. I mean, the social issues affecting Hollywood and pop culture, past, present, future. So we're going to have some great guests on. It's going to be a great time, 90 minutes. So it'll be that early, I think 7 o'clock, next Thursday. I don't remember. It's on our Facebook page and stuff. And all social media accounts, you can go find it.
Yeah.
So... like we always do, let's get started with what we've been doing this week. Let's get caught up. Cynic, let's start with you.
So, I guess this week I have, really I've focused on Yakuza and Dragon Ball. I don't know if I covered it too much. That Ultra Instinct Goku came out, because I know we covered Mortal Kombat quite a bit. And that... I've really been trying to do a little bit more homework on Ultra Instinct Goku, figure out extra setups and things that they have added into Dragon Ball FighterZ since I've last played, and it was rough. I had my ass handed to me pretty good for the first, hour or two, and then finally, my brain kicked in and said, "Oh yeah, you remember how to play now." And you have to add these other things in that they have started to implement. So it's like, okay, so I started to win a bit more. And it's been fun. Playing Dragon Ball FighterZ again and rediscovering that game has been extremely fun. And I'm also very close to finishing Yakuza 0, but I've been taking my sweet time since there's so much to do in that game. So
a truly good version of an open world. It's not how big it is. It's about how everything is. There is no building wasted in that game.
No, not one. And I finally understand what people say when they say, when you mentioned to me the most Yakuza way they could do something. Now I get it. Okay, so they have some consistent character development and serious storytelling, and then they have really fun gameplay, and then some ridiculous storytelling on top of it. So yes.
Yeah. There's the only gaming franchise that pulls off in the same breath having to deal with a murder conspiracy involving multiple Yakuza clans and stopping a panty-stealing superhero who wants porn to stop stealing panties.
Yes, or the high school bully who goes around stealing everybody's pants, or the dominatrix who's far too polite. And
I am going to make all our viewers a promise right now. We are not going down the fan service route where this turns into an episode about porn stores.
No, we're not, because we're not talking about porn. We're talking about Yakuza. Now, if you're not talking about porn, go to the bug game they play.
But it could go that route, though. But yes, we will try our very best to stay professional. So,
hey,
yes.
Or was it a total professional statement, sir? I'll have you know.
I'll take your word at it. What have you been up to, Pocky?
So this week on streaming, if you've been watching my streams, I've actually been playing Phantasy Star Online 2. I am now up to level 30, and I have to say, a friend of mine showed me the best way to level / to do things in that game. And one of the things is there are clients in the game. Basically, they're quest givers, but they call them clients. They don't call them quest givers.
Okay.
but some of them are like, hey, I want you to experience a thunderstorm, and hey, I want you to go to this area and kill a certain number of monsters. It doesn't matter what, just you kill X number. And there's another client who wants you to kill a certain number of bad guys in the forest, like certain dudes in the forest. If you take all three of those, go to that one spot, you'll do all three of them at once, and you'll get a lot of levels. Because you have to know where to go, and as you level, you get more contacts, so you can start adding layers, and you can do whatnot. And I finally got able to do my first, what they call urgent missions, which is like, hey, a contaminated mothership is showing up, or hey, an unexpected number of the night dawns are showing up. Go to this area, and we're going to be doing these giant like player raids, basically, and it's a lot of fun because everyone just shows up. You set it to difficulty, everyone shows up into that area, and then all of a sudden it's like you're fighting a boss, and you have like 30 people in a room, and you're just beating the crap out of them.
Yeah,
and it's a lot of fun.
I finally have that thing downloaded, so I'll have to join you guys sometime. I know both of you have it.
The really cool part about it is item, and this is going to be good for you to know, Cynic. Items that drop, only you can see.
Oh, good. That's real good.
No loot stealing, no ninja looting.
Yeah, that's the best part. That's how it is Minecraft Dungeons. I figured that out as well.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, a lot of games have started to do that are kind of like loot based, where only you can pick up your loot. So that's great.
Yeah, but other than that, I actually finally beat Link to the Past and just kind of goofing around on the Switch a little bit, finding a bunch of Otome Games, which is female date sim games on the system, and they have a bunch of demos. And I've got one where the plot is after a really bad breakup, you come back home and your pets turn into Bushidos, aka handsome men, and you have to date your pets.
See, I would play that just for the shits and giggles, you know.
I play it because this is stupid. Because the plot is I date my pets.
Yeah,
and it's like, I'll play it. It's whatever.
Yeah, that's very Japan. Yes,
very Japan.
Exactly, very very Japan. Actually, yeah, one of my I have a family member who has been trying to get me to buy Overwatch on the Switch, actually. So that's going to be my thing for the Switch. I actually purchased it, waiting to get it. But as mentioned before, I had to buy a big memory card if I was going to play Phantasy Star or literally anything else on the Switch that I can't have a physical game for. And so went ahead and bought a large memory card as well as Overwatch. So once I get that going, that'll be the new thing for a little while, I think.
Double check for your Overwatch, so check to see if they fixed the game, because there were server issues when that game started for about a month. I don't know if they fixed them.
Yeah.
Well, as adamant as she is that I get it, I hope so too.
Well, right, Cynic, what have you been up to? I mean, not Cynic, Gavin, what have you been up to?
I have my living room reset up now, so I'm ready to dedicate streaming days. I've got my whole setup, and I learned that there's a massive difference in HDMI cables when you're dealing with high-end entertainment systems. I had to change out my HDMI cable on the TV going to the soundbar because it wasn't fast enough to process what it was being given by the Xbox.
Okay.
So it kept just stopping signal. And the funny thing is, they're called twisted threads, and apparently they're supposed to be expensive high-end ones, but they're not. So I ordered some from Amazon. I had to pry up my gigantic heavy TV to get behind it to switch out the cord, and now it seems to be working fine. But it's a world of, I would not have in 100 years imagined the difference a 9.2.4 sound system makes over my old 5.1. Would not have imagined the Dolby Atmos aspect to Destiny. Fucking just what? It's a world of a difference. But a new season started Destiny, so I started that. But I've also been doing a lot of research into Sea of Thieves because they've added so much stuff.
Yeah,
holy crap. This game has evolved into a powerhouse game. And I'm really excited to get back into it, but we've been so behind.
Yeah.
I had no idea what was going on anymore. And there's mini quests and mini raids and long quests and all sorts of stuff in that game now. And I'm just like, man, I feel way far behind. So it's going to take a little bit to get caught up if I want to get back into it. But
well, that's the perfect place for us to start because the last time I played it was with you guys, I think.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun to rediscover.
It'll be hilarious to rediscover. And then, you know, my normal Animal Crossing FUBAR, I finally bought Power Ranger helmets today. I found my store had them, so I bought all the colors. And of course, Nintendo, having Nintendo it up, you have to walk in and out of the changing room 5 times to buy 5 different items because you can't just stockpile them. No, go through the whole dialogue tree, go back in, buy it, say don't equip it, ship it to my house, leave, go through the whole dialogue tree, go back in. Like,
wow.
Nintendo, don't be stupid.
You know, speaking of Power Rangers, I did reconnect with an old fighting game buddy of mine. It's just been a while. You know, every so often you run into those friends that you haven't played with in a while, and it's just good. It's good to play again. So this guy would always play Mortal Kombat, Dragon Ball Fighters with me, and he had asked me a long time ago to buy Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. And I just never got around to it, but the Games Pass has it. And so I went ahead and downloaded it and tried it out. It's not really like any other fighting game I've ever played. It's a weird game, but it is fun, and it was really nostalgic to play Power Rangers again. Like I haven't seen Power Rangers media since I was a kid at all.
Well, so. I have the big board game, which is amazingly fun.
Yeah.
I have a lot of problems with that board game.
Well, so
let's get our questions easier to kill.
What?
It needed to make the putties easier to kill.
Yeah, that game's meant to go from easy to like they make you think it's gonna be easy, but it's not. It goes crazy real quick. So our question of the week this week. We ready for it? Pocky had last week, which is what video game plot twist just really rocked your world?
Or is that
big spoiler alerts? Yes.
Yeah. What big plot twist? Either rocked your world or still like to this day you're like, man, I can't believe I fell for that, or I did see that coming, or you just sort of like. Wow.
It's your turn, Pocky. You get to start. This is your question.
Would you kindly?
That was a good one.
So I had two. My two was would you kindly when it's revealed. Finally revealed, like the reason everything's been going on, the reason everything's happened is because that stupid phrase has been said the entire game, and you, like a little hamster, followed it.
Yeah.
And then the other one was Kefka's betrayal and the moving of the statues in Final Fantasy VI. Because at that point, like you thought you were done with them, you thought it was over.
Yeah. I remember distinctly playing that. I actually didn't play it on the SNES. I played it on an emulator on my phone, and I couldn't put it down. And so when I got to that point, I was like, hey, cool. You know, the game's beaten, and it's all good. And then he moves the statues. The world ends. and so
the world in the image he sees fit.
Yeah. And so then you're defeated. The entire Earth is like scorched and destroyed, and your teammates are scattered. You have to find them again. And I was the whole time I was like, you're freaking kidding me, right? Really?
Did you wait till the clock hit 1?
I don't remember. It was
okay. So there is a shadow is left behind.
Yes.
If you actually let the timer hit 1, like 1 second before it ends, he shows up and he says, let's jump. But you have to be at the exit.
Yeah, thank God for save states, because before my fight, I did a save state, and then afterwards I was like, man, and I looked it up online. It's like, can shadows survive? And it said, yeah, just wait till the last second. I was like, you're kidding me. Okay. Yep. Save state reloaded, and I did wait. So, yeah. That's a great twist.
That twist, you're like, I thought we were done with you. I thought you were locked up. I thought the Empire had nothing to do with you. The Empire really had nothing to do with him. He just was like, no, I'm betraying all of you. I'm going to betray everybody.
Yeah, Kefka gives no shits. He's a fantastically evil character. So to see him actually win and extend that game another however long, like 10, 20 hours.
Yeah, like several things, basically.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Is it my turn? Okay. Yes. I'd have to say the one that literally rocked my world and I absolutely love because I never saw it coming was Knights of the Old Republic when you were Revan. That was so well executed. It's like Metroid level executed. Like you do not see this coming.
Yeah. That was a great twist. Fantastic twist.
Fantastically done. Just so amazing. To be followed up by such a crappy sequel. Just, yeah. I'm not bitter about Old Republic 2. No, not at all.
Well, I mean, supposedly the problem with our Old Republic 2 was they weren't going to make it. And then, like, they were like, no. You need to make this, or you're going to lose the Star Wars license.
Oh,
like, okay, because they were planning another Star Wars game, just not nice.
I don't know how you'd follow up that first game with anything worthwhile.
Yeah,
I mean they're making some good Star Wars games now, but back then,
you mean they make one Star Wars game now?
No, Battlefront is really really fun. Jedi Fallen Order is supposed to be really fun.
It is, but that's like. But I'm saying
also did Unleashed with the secret Padawan.
For the story for that was fantastic. The gameplay was great, but a little clunky.
Yeah,
the Star Wars Unleashed, the last was not Unleashed. What was the one before they stopped making video games? The one where you were a Jedi, where you were a Sith.
Well, there was the Force Unleashed, which was the Secret Apprentice, where you're a Sith. Yeah. You're Darth Vader. You're Star Killer. Right?
Yeah, you're Star Killer.
Yeah.
That
was fantastic.
Which was the original name, by the way.
And then they clone you for number 2, but we don't have to go into all that.
Yeah, we don't. I would have to say that's probably my favorite one. Is Old Republic. I mean, I love that game to this day, and they're making Funko Pops of it. And I can finally get my Darth Revan pop.
That's pretty cool. I also heard they brought Darth Revan back for the Old Republic MMO, which is pretty cool.
I did. So, all right. So time to get into our news of the week.
Oh, hold on.
I thought he already went. I'm checking my phone. Yes, go.
I will. I almost went and said Yakuza 0 because it did have a pretty big twist in mind. All I'm going to say before I actually get to mine is when you find out who the owner of the empty lot is, if you've played Yakuza, you know that this little bit of real estate is key to the plot. Once you find out who that is, like I was like, oh God, really? Oh, well, this is bad. This is really bad. And this person is really in deep shit. And you're about to have an army thrown at you because of this person. Or rather, not even because of this person, because of this person's circumstance. So I'd say that since I don't want to talk about Yakuza 0 any more than I already have, I'll say Halo 2 when it's revealed that you get to be the Arbiter. When they started adding the Covenant story and they started telling your side of things, I thought, hey, it's really cool that they're fleshing out this whole side of the story. And I figured that the Arbiter, of course, would maybe become an antagonist or something like that. But then, they dump you in the middle of that assassination mission, and you start out with the sword that you actually hadn't used in the game yet, in the series yet, rather. And so they drop you down, you have the sword, and you have temporary invisibility, and you're having to discern which grunts to kill or not, since you've been murdering everything that's not human up to this point. And so, being the Arbiter and being the ally of the Covenant was the biggest twist for me in Halo 2. That's the biggest one that comes to mind right off the bat, anyway.
That was a definite oh my moment, and I'm glad that they did it.
Yeah, for sure.
So, week. Let's get to our because we have so many stories, and then we're going to talk a lot about PlayStation and Destiny because I run the show. We're going to talk about Destiny. Or Space Channel 5. You pick. So our mini dump. I sent you a link to this earlier, Cynic, and I'm just super excited about this because this is where gaming is kind of going as part of like the xCloud and Google Stadia. Razer jumped in and said, here's an actual controller you can put your phone in. Like, this is so much better than what I have, and I don't have to keep rehashing my Xbox controller and re-Bluetoothing it. It's a whole controller just for your phone, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
When you sent that to me, I looked at it and said, you know what? That looks pretty darn functional, actually. That looks really good.
Super functional. I mean, just look at it. I was like, yeah, Type-C or Lightning. I mean, it's for new phones, obviously, because Type-C is what everyone's going to, which is what right there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's got a regular, and it's only $80. You can buy a regular controller for $80. I'll buy this and take it with me on the road and be perfectly happy.
Yeah.
I'm just,
It's pretty
bravo to them for bringing this up and being like, yes, we're ahead of the game. Screw you guys.
Yeah. Thank you for not sending me anything else that's the equivalent of, say, the Game Gear Mini. Because when you sent me that link and the part in the links mentioned phone controller, I was like, okay, let's take a look at this thing. And I went, oh, this looks like it turns your phone into a PSP. Like, this looks really good, actually. And so, yeah, very cool.
Really good. I'm hoping that they get some companies to design games for it. I know that, they're like saying, but I'd like to see something that utilizes that controller.
Well, it's for mobile gaming. So you have Stadia, you can have xCloud, and right now my xCloud, I have a little adapter that the phone sits in and the controller clicks in, but you have to keep repairing the controller because it's paired with the Xbox. You got to pair it with the phone. It causes all these weird issues. I love xCloud on my phone. I love it. It's a little limited right now because they're still figuring out all the kinks, but like, I can be at my job and play Sea of Thieves while I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
I like that
I need me a new phone. I use these things till the wheels fall off of them. So I need a new phone.
I will never get anything but a Google Pixel ever again because that is the most amazing phone I've ever owned. I'm on the Pixel 4 right now. No, 3 because 5 is about to come out. Yeah, I have the Pixel 3. Beautiful phone. Will never change.
I'll have to talk to you about them because I always go Galaxy. I went Galaxy and never went back.
I go Galaxy all the time until I got the Pixel 1 because I'm a Google whore. I might as well just be like tattooing their shit on my body.
You really should.
The fact that you use Stadia this is a good example of mobile gaming.
It is a good example because Stadia looks and runs really well on your mobile phone, but no one's using it.
Yeah.
Again, you could have a nice car, but if it doesn't have an engine inside of it, it ain't a car.
But here's an actual controller that may start to bridge that gap. And so bravo to Razer for doing it. I will be buying one as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Really bridge that gap? Games people want to play.
Hey, they'll get there someday,
Google will consider it a factor and they'll kill it.
Do you know why? Do you know why the Game Gear was so popular? Because you could take your Genesis games on the road with you. Do you know why xCloud is going to kill it? Because all of your games are going to be there, and you can play it on your phone and pick up when you get home.
Let me just stop you because the Nomad, you could take your Genesis games anywhere, but the Game Gear was popular because it had color and a backlight. It was
Game Gear was popular, sir. Yes, to Sega fans.
Yes.
The most popular handheld was the Game Boy.
There are more of than you will ever admit.
Yes. The Game Boy was
Sorry, Game Boy ruled that roost so hard that any competitor that went next to it laughed.
Yeah,
True story.
But it's not that they didn't have good handhelds out there. The Nomad was a close second because you literally just stuck your Genesis game in and boom, it worked.
Yeah, and that's what you want to talk about. Game Gear,
and you could hook it up to your TV. It was basically a miniature Sega.
Yeah, that's what you want to talk about. You want to talk about Game Gear.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
It was a Switch.
Yes.
Well,
the Nomad was the Switch without the proper marketing. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Otome Games really didn't have date sim, so that's why it failed.
Before we let Pocky talk about his Persona thing, we're starting to see a rise in cross-platform play push.
Yes.
No Man's Sky this week was announced. It's going to be fully cross-platform play.
Yeah.
When the Destiny thing stream, they're going to be intergenerational cross-platform play, but they're hoping that the middle of next year it'll be completely cross-platform play. So PS5 can play with PS4, Xbox X can play with Xbox S. That's the way it's running right now. But they're hoping to have full cross-platform play up and running. Minecraft is already doing that between the Nintendo and the Switch. So it seems like Sony is finally lowering that bar some. And we're going to start seeing more cross-platform play, which is just good news for gamers overall.
Yeah, that's just great.
One of the reasons Nintendo, by the way, the reason Sony has been lowering that bar is because it started with, I'm trying to remember who, but one of the gaming companies went, if you don't allow cross-platform to start happening, you're not getting our next titles.
Well, it's also the fact that Nintendo said, yeah, we'll do it. And they're like, well, Nintendo's going to do it. We're looking at the bad guy.
Well, so did Xbox, because Xbox spearheaded it in the first place. They were like, hey, we want cross-platform. We want cross-platform. Hey, guys, do you want to do cross-platform? They were going like everywhere for that. And for a long time, Sony seemed to resist it. But I'm glad that they're stepping up and putting a little effort into the cross-platform, because it's great.
It's just more people to play with, more people to have fun with.
Yeah, it takes two.
I think one of the things that's also been helping it is that all these companies are demanding that their proprietary servers and stream service, such as Ubisoft and all of them, are basically making them go through their systems for their games. It's not necessarily you're going through Sony or Nintendo or whoever. Yes, you're kind of doing it, but you're mostly going through their systems.
Yeah.
And that's the big difference.
All right, Pocky, so tell us about this Persona 5 before we get into Sony's big day.
Not 5-4, sir.
Whichever one it is, I don't know. There's 18 of them. Come on.
That is technically true. So technically, there's only 5 games, but there's so many versions. So this weekend is the PC Gamer Conference, and Atlas is on the list. Of 50 game companies, Sega and Atlas is on that list. One of the theories is, so someone did some data mining on the Steam front and found Persona 4 Golden as an archive file, like a file that's supposed to show up at a later date. Roughly at the same time that people who found this, Atlas got a games a workshop on Steam, which basically allows people to mod their games, and said, "Hey, our fans, get ready for the big surprise! You've won it." And they released that on a tweet. So the outstanding theory is yes, next month we could end up with Persona 4.
So this is just a rumor at this point in time.
It is a rumor, but the problem is it's being fairly well backed. It's one of those cases of like even Atlas themselves are saying, "Hey, on Saturday, get ready for a very large surprise."
Cool.
I'm gonna laugh if it's not that.
I will cry if it's not that. If it's 5 Royal though, or 3. If it's 3 and 3 Fez, 3 Answer, I will take that. Because I never got to beat 3, although I know how it ends.
All right, so
Very cool.
Let's get started with Sony's big day today. I don't know.
Sony did something important?
Pocky watched most of it. I watched towards the end of it, then went back and watched the things I needed to watch.
Yeah.
But I do have to say something. Okay.
Oh no.
No matter what you think, they make an absolutely beautiful system.
Oh yeah. I like this. Did you see the picture someone did of the system where they put Kaiba's head from Yu-Gi-Oh on it?
Oh, and granted they took like forever to reveal it, but beautiful system. They went for the flair, whereas Xbox went with the functionality.
It looks like a vase.
It does. Like, I didn't quite know what I was looking at first when I was revealing. I was like, there's a lot of lights. They like their lights. That's fine. They showed a little bit of the back, so you know it's there. There's like their expansion port and how to hook it up. It's got some nice textures. It's absolutely beautiful.
There it is.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I did not mean to hijack. My bad.
You hijacked it. At the
I didn't mean to hijack it.
I mean, it looks fine. It looks fine. It looks functional.
But here's the other thing. Then they shocked everyone and showed off the discless version, which is the same thing without the disc slot.
So basically, minus $100 to $50.
Yeah,
Whatever the price is going to be, it's going to be a $50 or $100 cheaper version.
I'm okay with discless versions. Like, I want something with a disc just in case. Every now and then I watch an actual physical 4D movie, 4K movie.
Or a physical game.
I am all about digital. I am 100% about digital. So yeah, then they started showing off their accessories, and there is a camera accessory, and I'm like, are they going to revolt against that the way they did the Kinect?
No, because they're not making it a part of it's an accessory. It's not
it's not going to be required this time, or have rumors that it's always going to be on and all that.
See, that was a whole bunch of bullshit, y'all. Stuff is on all the time. It does not matter. But
the difference is one being on all the time where you can see my naked butt.
Then don't your goddamn TV naked playing video games.
But it's in my bedroom.
Your phone is in your bedroom. Your laptop and computer's in your bedroom. Stuff is always out. No one's watching you, people. I don't understand this fear we have of like, ooh, no, someone's watching you.
The fact that that's actually been disproven, and yes, there are people hacking in, apparently, including.
Well, you know what? If they want to hack into my house, they're going to get a good show if they hack into my house. I'll be the center of. Let's go to town.
You'll be the host of your own YouPorn channel.
I ain't got no. I don't have anything to hide. You know, everything in your house is always fucking on. Your phone is always on, and no one complains about that.
Yeah,
always on. So
the difference is we're not
going to get in that argument, Pocky, because you and I will never see eye to eye. Because you're like, oh no, someone's gonna hack. If someone's to hack into your fucking camera to watch you, then by all means, fucking let them. Because who does that? Nobody.
Lots. We've had proof.
Some random ass person. Yeah, I don't think so. If you were like someone was like, "Woo, yeah, I really want to go see this guy because you have like millions of dollars and you're like this internet celebrity like on Instagram," I can see that. But just your everyday Joe, nobody gives a fuck, y'all. And if they do come in, hey, I'm right here.
We're the illustrious hosts of the Super Gamer Bros podcast. All right, don't underestimate other people's desire to see your junk through your Xbox. All right,
I have one of my regular watchers on my stream. Error, not detected. We'll be watching this later, sir.
That's fine. So you'll be like, "Ooh, I'm gonna hack into their system. Let me see what happens." They'll be like, "Oh God, I got too much information. No." You'll be fine. So I picked a couple of trailers that I thought really kind of showcased things. But what I found the most interesting about this is I want to see the after reactions tomorrow. Because when Xbox did it, everyone was fine until the next day. They're like, well, nothing looks next gen. Nothing here looked next gen either. It looks the exact same quality that the Xbox One did.
Well,
I want to see if people are going to jump on that bandwagon because.
Well, when I watched it, I mean, my whole thing at this point, we've had this conversation. I think all three of us have had this conversation before. But as that graphics are getting about as good as they can at this point, there is going to be another leap for sure. But, you know, at this point, the gap is really going to need to widen technologically for that to happen. For now, it's all about functionality and how good do these things run? How good do they display on these new 4K TVs, things like that. So yeah,
I think it's also going to come down to things you don't notice. Like an example, like in old video games, if you go even PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, if you go to like those, it's like how many cars are in New York City? 5.
Yeah, there'll be the little details.
If you go to if you see you're going to show the SpiderMan one. If you look at the street, it's a New York street. It's actually packed with traffic, and they're moving.
And it's the powerhouse that lets them do things like the PlayStation Tech demo explained how the video games ecosystem work perfectly with loading screens and chunks that are loaded. I get all that. So I think that's what it is. But like I was watching the Resident Evil one and I was like, this really doesn't look any different much than what we have now. I think that was a really bad trailer to show.
Well, yeah, I think the big difference now is like they're catching up to the high-end PCs where, you know, there's a big difference. Like, for instance, when Doom Eternal came out, there were some streamers who played Doom Eternal on 4K on a souped-up computer, and they were like, when they were moving, there was no motion blur on the screen, but their eyes were actually blurring the motion naturally. Like they were like, this looks better than real life. How the hell does this work? And I played Doom Eternal on a flat screen, a big flat screen. I played it on my little Asus monitor, and yeah, there's just no way it's gonna run on the consoles like this right now. So I think they're just trying to catch up to these high end PCs, and I think that'll be cool. There's just no way to do it justice if you're not running the system.
Yeah. So let's start with.
I was gonna say there's another thing we have to look at. We're looking at the end of a generation and the beginning of another.
Yeah.
But if you go back to like what they were showing off like 6 years ago when PS4 was first coming out versus like what PS5 is coming out with next, you will see a big difference.
That is a big difference. Yes.
Yeah. So let's start with the Spider-Man one, since that's probably the biggest one that they showed.
Yeah, and remember, this is press release, so fair use, guys.
I was extremely excited for this one.
I'm glad that they're going this route, but like I was telling Pocky, I don't know how much they're going to add to the gameplay, or is it just going to be kind of a reskin version of the first one? I know he has different powers, and it's different characters, but I'm afraid that they're just going to kind of next-gen reskin the first one with some...
I don't think you can. I think that Peter and Miles' power sets are so very different.
The only power they touch, they only share 3 powers in common, which is the super strength, the stickiness, and the sense.
Yeah.
And other than that, like Miles can turn invisible, and he has what he calls the tarantula's touch, which is he can paralyze.
Yeah, the venom strike.
Yeah.
It's a little laggy on my end of things, but I mean, yeah, when you watch this trailer, it looks good. It looks fantastic, and it's clearly the Insomniac universe.
Yeah.
So I like that they're continuing on. I do hope to see more Peter, because I'm always attached to Peter. But certainly since they introduced Miles into the last game, it's natural that they continue with him. And you never know. This may be like DLC for that game, but I don't know. I'm down for a full game featuring Miles.
I think it'll be a cool game. I know that's where they hit the wall with the original Spider-Man games, so there's only so much you can do with it. Now they've done this amazing job with the one on the PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
What are they going to do besides a couple extra powers to really... besides making it look really good, because it does look really good.
Yeah.
Well, you could say the same thing with the Batman Arkham games. It was...
Batman was an overarching 4 storyline game. If this one continues maybe into this other world, which I really do like the Miles Morales universe, I do. I loved Into the Spider-Verse. That's one of my favorite things I've ever seen. I give them credit and hope. I just don't want to go down the Assassin's Creed route where it's going to be the same thing every game with just a different skin. I'd like to see them maybe put more RPG elements in. Like, I didn't play the PlayStation 4 a while, obviously. But I really do hope that they do something that's going to be absolutely amazing with it.
Well, I bought a PlayStation 4 looking forward to playing that game. So when it dropped, I picked it up right away, got it season pass, did all that stuff. It is so much fun just being Spider-Man in that game, that even them just adding more content without necessarily adding more moves was I mean, it was great. It was absolutely fantastic. And so I think that, yeah, they're going to add a new character in here. They're going to add some new ways to actually play these characters, add some new ways to be stealthy that you can't be with Peter for sure. I do hope they were able to advance Peter's story. There were a few things that they left kind of in the breeze there. So I hope that they can continue on with that story that they left off with. But I'm really excited to see it. I'm really excited.
So I'm going to show another one. I have 2 more to show before we talk about the other games.
Hey, Gavin, can I show this one? Just tell me what the video is. You're breaking up really bad on the video. Like, Miles was kind of pausy like this.
Hold on. Let me pull this, because there's nothing else on the internet at my house. So let me pull this up, and we'll see what it does.
Cool.
Okay. You were kind of stuttering.
It's all good. It did start to clear up near the end, so it might be good now.
This one has me highly intrigued. It's going to be on both systems. It's going to be a console exclusive to begin with, but this is called Goodbye Volcano High.
Goodbye Volcano High. Yeah, I was interested in this one.
No idea what it's going to be about.
Yeah. Yep, there's a party going on, though. These anime people are eating pizza and getting hammered. It's good times.
They're like dinosaur hybrid fantasy creatures. Like,
by the way, is there any sound to this?
Yeah.
Oh, did I not share the sound?
You did not share the sound, sir.
Of course I did. Anyways.
Yeah.
I thought I had shared the sound, but
when
yeah.
When I saw this trailer, I couldn't quite tell what was going to be going on too, but the presentation was there. It just looks very unique.
I wonder if it's going to be semi-dating sim.
Since we led the show with dating sims, we can go with that.
So, yeah, Pocky.
I was going to say America has been trying to do a date sim style game. Maybe this is because it's very indie feeling. It's like it feels like a major indie title, like that Sony is giving a lot of love to because Sony's been trying to do that for a while, and I can see because it does seem like at least with two of the characters we could be dealing with some GLBT issues and characters. So I date sim definitely. Romantic choices. It doesn't seem like it's sticking with one character, so maybe beginning of the school year you pick a character and you run with their life.
Maybe. I'm interested in looking at more just because the animation and the art style, and it looks very RPG-ish. Whatever it looks like it's going to be very story-driven or at least narrative-driven. So it's going to be interesting to see what this one looks like.
And so here was the surprise of the show for me that I'm super excited for, but it will be cross-platform. But this game better have butthole demons. That is all I'm going to say.
So I love the fact that who's the writer of this game and the maker of this game is a wonderful woman, and she is responsible for
things others can't.
This is an example of what you could do with next-gen kind of stuff. I mean, just watching the gameplay, and it takes place in Japan, who has the most fucked up ghosted demon lore ever.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting some straight up fucked up shit coming out of this game.
It's up to you to save Tokyo.
Like, the paper bag ghost. Like, I want to see all that fucked up shit come out in this game.
Yeah, this one looks super cool. When I was writing down a list of all these games, this one came up, and but I was literally watching all the trailers and just writing them down and giving a small description of it. And this one was pretty cool looking, and I didn't quite know exactly what may be going on in it. I just know that it's looks like a cool first person shooter with probably some some RPG or building your character up elements to it. But
in Japan, of all places.
Yes.
It's called Ghostwire Tokyo, and
it's very anime with your fireball powers and everything.
It's like straight out of those ghost animes where they do the little sigils to their hands. It's like I'm just
like Bleach.
Super excited for that one.
Yeah,
so I had to look it up, and it's going to be on both systems, so I'm excited about that.
It's very cool.
And of course, it's from Bethesda.
Yeah,
they're part of behind it, so it's going to be lots of fun.
Well, if they're saying if they put that tagline Tokyo at the end of it and it's Bethesda, are we to assume that we're going to be able to get a full open world at Tokyo? Is that what we're saying here?
I'm hoping so, and I'm really hoping that they go into the demonology lore of Tokyo and Japan.
They have to. I mean, if they're setting it up this way, I mean, they really have to. And I'm really liking the the 4D kind of interdimensional travel, like that seems to be going on also. That's pretty cool.
So the director of this game, by the way, is the director of the first Resident Evil game, the first the Dino Crisis franchise.
I'm sold. I'm sold.
Yeah, it's like this. He also did PN30. He did God Hand, which was a great game. So it's like the one of the other characters, one of the other people who helped make this game, also was like an understudy for the guy who made the Devil May Cry franchise. So she's part of this, and it's like
There's a lot of potential here, and I cannot wait to see it.
See, I'm just not even hoping Tokyo. I'm hoping for a lot of other, not just Japanese, but like maybe Singapore or maybe like Hong Kong or
for like future games. I can see that. Like a whole ghost hunting series would be lots of fun because I miss Fatal Frame. I miss games like that were just different and fun and dealt with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we were talking about Fatal Frame just last podcast, I think.
Yeah,
how you wouldn't mind that coming back, and so it's pretty cool to see this come out, and hopefully, I mean, the thing is it doesn't look conventionally scary, but hopefully, I hope that the deeper you dive into this game, the darker that can get.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
The other one for me that was Bethesda's released this today was Deathloop.
Deathloop was definitely interesting.
Yeah.
BioShock done as a blaxploitation movie is great.
Yeah.
So very quick, I want to show Cynic this other trailer because he brought this up, and I was going to show it at the end, but we're going to show it now.
Yeah.
Because if there was a game that really had our name all over it, it's this one. And I didn't know that they showed it off earlier today.
Well, but, I was trying to get some material together, and so a few days ago, a week or so or something, I ended up seeing it.
So what this is your damage and point system is based on killing things in time with music.
Yeah.
See, I can't play this game.
Now the funny thing is I'm like, okay, so basically it's Doom. So, and the funny thing is there's like lyrics and stuff in there, and I sometimes think lyrics really get in the way sometimes of an experience like that. So I'm like, we'll see.
I would say this is Doom meets Parappa the Rapper. I think this game was Telefly.
That's the one. Yeah, and there you go. Okay, so and I'm a big fan of Dark Tranquility and Soilwork. Looks like they've got a lot of singers from like overseas, like Sweden, who were getting in on this.
How did they not come this ahead of time? A demonic shoot 'em up Doom type game set to heavy metal music where your damage and points are based on killing things in time with music.
Yeah,
so how is this not a thing?
So it's basically Doom, but with points that pop up. So it's basically Doom. But it's like
the rapper. It's Doom meets Cadence of Hyrule.
Yeah.
Because Cadence, what was it? Tomb of the Necrodancer. Because your damage was also, but you had to do damage. You can only do damage on the beats.
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely will be different.
I mean, I'm down with it. My only thing is I'm hoping you don't hear the same, like, even if they had a good 10 unique songs in there, they better be good and long or different. Like, I don't want to hear it better not be different radio. Like, I hear it on repeat, We're
talking about heavy metal songs with guitar riffs and drum solos, bitch. These things can go on for 20 minutes.
They had better, is what I'm saying.
Do you want to do 20 minutes of it? That's the other question.
Let's give about 5 or 10 more minutes for you guys to talk about the other things you liked about the Sony conference. So let's start with
first, because I can go on for more than that.
Yeah, I've got a big list here. Yeah.
Try to put it down because we're coming up on almost an hour of show already.
Yeah,
and I still want to go over a couple Destiny things. So,
go ahead. Gotcha.
So, I was gonna say I'll start with one, which is which is Zero Horizon Dawn.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yes, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yes.
The Forbidden West.
Mm-hmm.
That is
more.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be fun.
Very cool.
Is it a DLC or a sequel game?
It is a sequel.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I know Horizon Zero Dawn was probably one of the best games on the last generation for sure. And to see that world get expanded upon here also, along with the gameplay and everything, I mean, that was a pretty cool character and a pretty cool world that they created with like cyber dinosaurs and cyber evolution. That was very interesting. So I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that expanded upon for sure.
I did like the crazy Demolition Derby one that Sony's making.
Oh, I know exactly. Oh, I think
it was like Team Fortress meets Demolition Derby. Like I was like, that's a pretty cool looking game. Like go around, crash people, then you're out of your car, and you got to survive out of your car in the car arena. Like, yeah, that one.
Yeah, Destruction All Stars. That's the one. Yeah,
I've got looked like a lot of fun.
So I've got a little list, and I'll go through it real quick. So we already covered SpiderMan. There's a new Ratchet and Clank gang, a Rift Apart. So Ratchet and Clank are going to be making a return. Let's see, Returnal, which is like what was that movie with Sandra Bullock in space?
Gravity.
Gravity. Yes, it looks like Gravity meets Evolve. Like the gameplay, and it's really weird, and it has these tentacle monsters that she fights, and it seems like she's losing her mind.
Of course there's tentacle monsters. Come on.
Yeah, it looks like a regular monster, and then tentacles shoot out of them. You know, it looks interesting enough. Little Big Planet is back, and it's called Sackboy: A Big Adventure. So it doesn't have a Little Big Planet attached to it, so I don't know if there's going to be the customization and all that kind of stuff that you were attached to Little Big Planet. But at least Sackboy is back because he's a recognizable figure that they can market just fine, I guess. So we'll see how that goes. There's Kenna Bridge of Spirits, which actually looked pretty cool. I'm trying to remember some details about Bridge of Spirits. You just have to look it up because it caught my attention. The new Oddworld, Soulstorm, which if you add more to Oddworld, it's always very cool. Abe seems like he's returning and getting more character development as that goes. So more Oddworld is always cool. Godfall looks like a pretty cool hack and slash. Solar Ash looks like a really...
It's done by the same team that did Hyperlight Drifter.
Yes.
It's that new team. That's a new game.
It looks really cool. I don't know what kind of game they're creating. It just from the presentation, it looks like a cell shaded open world kind of game. Hitman 3 was advertised. I don't think I really noticed too much of Agent 47 in there, but I think he may have been disguised or something along those lines.
He shows up. He shows up several times. You have to realize. Yeah. Oh wait, I'm looking at Agent 47.
Yeah, see, I'm looking at it right now. I saw the trailer one time as I was going through and writing down everything, and I was like, did I even see him? And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have to rewatch that because I'm positive that I saw him walking around there. That was pretty cool. The Little Devil Inside looked like a really interesting game. Like it showed an old man who was kind of going about his business, and then it seemed like he would dream of a younger boy who would go off and have these crazy adventures. I think it was like a 2D platformer, cell shaded, almost looked like a Lego game the way it was presented.
So that trailer, what it is, it seems like he is a grand adventurer, like
looking back, yeah.
No, it's not. He's looking back. That's the kid who is actually living the adventures, and he's telling everyone this is what he's done.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's looking back on his stories. Yeah. So that looked pretty cool. There was also the Astro Boy Playroom. I think I wrote that down correctly. That's basically like the little PlayStation
mascot thing for this generation.
Thank you, the mascot who yeah, he shows up everywhere on the PlayStation and the cutting room floor and all that good stuff. So it looks like he'll be getting some I don't know, Wii inspired like mini games or something. Bug Snacks looks like, I don't know, it looked like a Sims for bugs or something.
No, the bugs are actually snack foods. They're junk food. And like the ladybugs are strawberries. But if you eat them, your body part becomes them. And like at the end, this weird junk food chimera shows up and attacks the camera.
Yeah.
So like, it seems like whenever you eat, you become like it changes your properties and it does other things. And
yeah, you were paying much better attention than I was.
It's like Kirby. Whatever you eat will help you.
Yeah. Because
Except not me.
the little bit that I saw showed you customizing a character and doing that sort of thing. So, then there's of course the Demon Souls remake, which that looks pretty darn cool. The Dark Souls, of course, have been Dark Souls games have been taking the Demon Souls idea. It was like Dark Souls is basically a sequel to Demon Souls and has just gone up from there. But Demon Souls, when I remember when it first came out, was pretty damned unique and had its own unique kind of feel to it. So I'm glad they're remaking it. It looks fantastic. If this is the graphic representation we're getting.
If 3 of those boss fights are what you actually have to fight, this will be insane.
Yeah, I honestly, I thought I got my hopes up a little bit because I thought it was a Dragon Age trailer because the dragon that showed up looked like the dragon character, and I can't remember her name from 1, 2, and 3. She's Morgan's mother. I can't remember her name.
Oh, wait, did you ever beat 3?
I did, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Flemeth.
Yes.
Yes. So I thought it was Flemeth in dragon form rising up, and then it showed like the castle and all that, and when the words demons popped up, and I'm like, oh no, this is Demon Souls. Oh Jesus. So
it only makes me kind of sad because they didn't show the other game they're working on.
Well, I'm sure they got to save a little bit. They got to hook you, just keep you on the line for a little longer, and then they'll bring out the big bait. But I think Resident Evil 8 was a cool enough reveal. Maybe not on a technological standpoint, but I'm at least glad that they are showing Resident Evil 8 is coming down the pipe. It seems like there's going to be a little bit of a heel turn. I won't spoil it for anybody who wants to go and look at the trailer. But definitely go watch the Resident Evil 8. It's Resident Evil 8 Village, I think was the subtitle, but VILL was kind of, looks like 3, deals for the Roman numeral 8 aesthetic. So I don't know. That's what I have, and I know I went on for a little bit, but that's what I caught. That's a lot of games. That's a lot of news for one day, folks.
See, and I think they shoved too much into this one. They should have done like Xbox and spread it out some because they literally put so much info, but still no release date, still no price point.
Yeah, that's.
I'm going to be honest. They may delay the game. They may delay the system though, because all the games are coming out till January.
Yeah, all of their games are sometime next year.
Like January,
some for 2020, most for 2021. Yeah.
My theory is that they know that like a lot of people are hurting for money right now. We will have the jobs, and this isn't even a U.S. thing. We're talking about worldwide. Sony may be going, do we want to release right now? We may not get the numbers we're looking for.
Yeah. Well, it looks good. It was a great presentation. It was Sony always makes a good presentation. I just hope, with rumors plaguing the internet of them having big problems keeping things cool and failures with the fans and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
I'm hoping that they don't have a red ring of death problem. So even if they delay it to button something like that up, I'm good with them delaying it.
Pocky, any last minute PlayStation things before I show the last PlayStation thing to show? I have to show off.
No, I'm good. I think we
covered pretty much all of it.
Yeah.
So you guys know I haven't had a PlayStation forever today.
Yeah.
But I may, if I can get my hands on this one, I may do it because Harley sent us. There's going to be a SpiderMan edition.
That's freaking cool. Yeah, that's good. I'm sold.
I'm just going to let you know now. You better not invite Brad to your house.
Yeah, Brad will be all over it.
Why?
Brad is our
Brad's
Spider-Man.
show is called The Red Web.
The Red Web. He is Spider-Man. He has Spider-Man shirts for every day of the year. I love Brad. He does a great show, but he's not staying still. But if I can get that one, I will probably buy a PlayStation 5 as well.
That looks pretty fantastic.
We'll probably never really play it, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, my PlayStation 4 is an amazing streaming device. So when I get my hands on the exclusives, it's cool, but otherwise, it's usually the Xbox.
So I'm just going to run over some of the Destiny things that happened this week real quick because it was another huge week for Destiny as they launched the new season, and they did something very odd. They announced everything like 10 minutes before they launched the new season. No one had any idea come Tuesday Reset what to expect. They did a big hour-long review an hour before they did the daily reset, which is noon our time. But it was weird because they did their very first live in-game event over the weekend where they blew up the evil spaceship that was coming our way. So they told everyone, be in the tower at 1 o'clock. So we were all in the tower, and nothing was happening for 30 minutes. And then it was another hour of this real-time event happening as you watch these little lasers approach a spaceship in the sky just to fucking blow it up. The internet rioted against Bungie over the weekend. It was fucking hilarious.
So it wasn't exactly Fortnite the end kind of storytelling.
No.
Sounds like that's what they were trying to go for.
They wanted it to be in real time, but they didn't tell anybody it was in real time. And so when you start at 30 minutes late, and you don't tell anybody it's going to be a whole hour event to watch because you get something at the end of it, an emblem. There's videos of people like their spouse like, we're just going without you then, like leaving people at the fucking house because we're sitting there waiting to see what the fuck was going on. We all expected like a 5 or 10 minute event. So hopefully when they do that in the future, it's going to be different. But what they did that I found really weird in their announcement was they kind of said, I'm going to kind of show you from here.
It means those responsible for our collapse are coming back.
The darkness is finally here from Destiny 1. It's been 6 years.
Oh, you mean they finally doing part of the story?
Yeah, they finally got to the point now where we're at that point where things are starting to really get twisted.
Between light and dark is so very thin.
So they shut off Beyond Lights next year. And then they went further and decided we're going to show you the next 2-3 years, bitches. So they've already announced the next 3 years coming. So everyone's really excited because there's a huge amount of lore behind this game, of course.
A side should always be taken.
But it looks like things are going to get really fucked up in 2 or 3 years.
Even if it's the wrong side.
Everyone's like, really? So after their really bad fuck up of the live event, they did this thing on Tuesday and everyone was happy. So I was kind of excited because they're like, hey, they had to explain how they're going to go forward. And I have friends who started playing Destiny with me and they got real bitchy about it. And they're not happy with anything to do. Like, oh, they're going to have to reset. They're going to retire content. Well, if Blizzard doesn't have to do it. I said, they don't have Blizzard money. They don't have Blizzard numbers. Yeah. So they can't just make an infinite world. They only have so much space on their server. So they're pulling old content, putting it into the vault that'll rotate out along with all the Destiny 1 content's coming back. It's going to be in the vault. They're pulling out some guns that have been like, I used the same gun for 3 years. So like, you really want people to play with more stuff. I get what they're doing. And they're kind of like, yeah, we fucked up a lot. We did a lot of things wrong. Here's how we're going to fix it. And we're not doing Destiny 3. We're just going to keep the Destiny brand alive going forward like an MMO. But because we don't have the servers and stuff like these big places have, we have to recycle content because nobody goes to this old content anymore. Like the raids stick around, but you try to do something from early in the year, there ain't nobody doing it. There's nobody really doing the menagerie. Like, it's just, so I get it. Why waste space when you could develop new space? And they also did a really weird code for this game, so it's kind of hard to, fix things because they fucked up this week again because Season Pass owners got the new gun, which is a grenade launcher that when you shoot it, it creates a well of damage that kills things in it, and whenever it kills something in it, those things spawn wells of damage. And if you attach it to somebody, they can't get away from it. So they're trailing it around with them, killing things around. People are killing raid bosses in 10 seconds with this gun. They all have gun, and they're killing raid bosses in like 10 seconds. So they're going to definitely nerf that soon. So I've been playing with it. It's super fun. I hope they limit the boss DPS because I get that. But it's made for mobs. They don't need to change much about that. But it's been lots of fun. The season started off with a bang. There's so many more people in the game now. But after their foobar of the massive fuck up hour-and-a-half live event. We came out and showed everyone what they needed to see. The things that we thought Destiny 1 are coming back, including the Exo Stranger, all sorts of shit's coming. So they're really like, we kind of fucked up for a while. Here's what's happening. So yeah,
We'll fuck it up later. Don't worry.
This gun was the first taste of the Darkness power, because next year we all get to play with Darkness powers. They showed that off. It's pretty cool. So I'm excited. It's a good time to be Destiny fans. They're fixing things. That's all I got to say. So that's been it. We had a lot of fun talking about all this stuff today. We hope you guys have enjoyed it. Don't forget, next week we are doing a special show about Black Lives Matter and social issues affecting media and pop culture, past, present, future. Because there's a whole lot of things going on. Like Harley showed us the article, they're now starting to want to boycott Paw Patrol because there's a cop in it.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it to a point, but like Lego stopped selling anything with cops in it. They pulled all that stuff off the shelves.
Did they? Because I saw an article that was talking about that, and then Lego actually came out with a statement, and they're like, "Guys, we're not like
they are though. That's the thing.
They're not. They're saying is we're temporarily holding back sales while we talk about these issues.
They're pulling it though. So we're going to address the good and the bad. We're going to address everything about it. So it's going to be a really interesting show. The God with the Wind thing happened this week. Like, I get it. I 100% understand it. But there's a deeper thing we have to evaluate here. So we're finding special guests and all sorts of things. So
that's very cool. Well,
it'll be lots of fun.
It's good. Yeah, good to address it.
Yeah, and don't forget Sunday is our Pride Today show, where we're going to talk about all sorts of fun things. Good Pride, bad Pride, where we're going. Lots of fun. I'm trying to line up a guest for that, but I haven't heard from him yet. But it'll be us. And I think Courtney's sister's on that one.
Okay.
I'll have to ask her.
Yeah, so it's gonna be. We're just gonna have fun talking about Pride.
It's going to be on the Pride episode.
She still has to talk to Jacoby about it.
She's going to
Pride
talk to.
episode of the Black Lives Matter episode.
I thought she was. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
BLM episode.
She said she was getting her future, her sister's boyfriend on the BLM episode.
Okay. Yeah, so we're going to find some guests for the Pride episode Sunday, too. So we'll be good. So we'll be back in 2 weeks. And also when we come back, I got to share my calendar invite with you because I have the funeral this week. So I'm not going to be game streaming. But we will continue and finish our Halo adventures.
Cool.
This month. Before 4th of July, we'll finish our Halo 1 adventure.
Yes. We've only got a couple levels left. So.
Yeah, we got about half the game left, and I promise I will try not to blow you up.
Yeah,
you say that, but I don't believe you.
I don't believe you even for a second. Even with infinite grenades, I have a feeling I'd be doing a lot of dying.
Oh, please. All right, so that's it for today. Everyone say bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.